Hey guys, welcome everybody to another episode of TheTerrainStudio. I'm your host, Sean Morris. A lot of you have been sending me questions and commenting on my videos, asking me what I was doing with the SteamPunk table, where I've been, what I've been up to. Well, to answer your question, here in front of you, you can basically see the last 5 months of my life. I've been working extensively on this SteamPunk table, and out of respect for the customer, I kept most of it secret. A few flash photos up on Facebook, but more or less I've been keeping it under wraps. That was a twofold. One, I wanted to give you guys a big reveal, and two, I did not want the customers, participants or clients to sort of get a glimpse of it before the customer had a chance to approve it and have a look at it. So here is the SteamPunk table here. I use SteamPunk loosely. It's it's a cross between some steampunk, some sci-fi, some Victorian era stuff, and just some general flavor. So this was my first project out of the Flames of War realm, so certainly lots to be learned, and I'm sure there's areas that I know there's areas that I can improve on, but hopefully you guys are pretty impressed with this, and you guys leave some comments, good or bad, that's fine. Feel free to comment away, but as you can see, the board is quite full of character, a lot going on the table, and a lot of elements, and I'll do my best to sort of describe and explain kind of my thoughts and where I was going with my ideas. So like I said, the table is 4x6. It's got some various areas here, so I'll just describe. So here's sort of the docking area here. So you got your water. I was going to go with a gel base, but just because of the amount of seams and the characterful water, we sort of felt that was a fine enough solution to just leave it as a painted piece. So no gel medium on that. So here you have your docking, your sort of staging area here, and the entrance to the sort of the laboratory area. Over here we have a secondary entrance. Sort of zoom down there. So there's two sets of doors going in there. Fairly simplistic. Sort of left this really plain looking. Some brickwork. Some variations in color of the grading and stuff. I went with a grading style as opposed to planking dock, just to kind of give it that more sort of industrial feel. All the pieces that you kind of see, the piping and the doors and things like that, that's all removable or magnetized, just to create some various looks to the board, so that can all be moved around and changed. So although the board is static in the sense of the construction, it does have some dynamic features on it. Next area, I'll move over here. So this is sort of just a sort of a control or a pipe works room. So just a long corridor. Maybe some dynamic fight scenes can happen in here, or things among those natures. Again, there's the doors. You can see all the walls kind of have this this sort of pipe or wiry look to them, and you got some various elements, so rusted pipes and things. Over there you get the suspicious looking library book area, and then behind that you reveal, and there will be a secret passageway into unknown regions. So this was a lot more painting than I'm typically used to, so I am no painter by any means, but I'll kind of give you guys a sense that maybe that'll focus, maybe not. Doesn't want to cooperate. Hopefully that's more or less in focus. So I did my best with the painting, so hopefully you guys aren't too appalled by it. Okay, so that's sort of a piping room. Here you got another corridor. Again, you got the pipes on the walls, or wires, whatever you want to refer to them as, and you got this sort of Victorian, sort of nautical cross doorway here. That pops off, and there's a second one on the other side. So that's just a pressure fit for that one. Kind of a neat feature of the table is the fact that some things are pressure fit. This just pops off here, and the doors are on both sides, and then the walls themselves, interesting enough, are also magnetized. So they just sort of come up. They have magnets on the bottom, magnets on the tile floor, and again you can see how that flat packs. And also, if you chose to remove that and just play as is, he's decided to sort of switch that piping around there, line that up a bit better, then you can kind of open up this space to play it a little differently, and then these are not too unsightly, so it's not really hindering the gameplay. So you can kind of open up the board or close it off at your own leisure. Oops, better put that on properly. What am I doing here? Oh, it would help if I move that pipe out of the way. There we go. So again, just snaps back into place, relatively easy. And then the door just pressure fits in to the slot. So there you go. And again, you can remove the doors, you know, to simulate that they're opening, and then you just are left with a doorway. All right, so just set that. Again, the lampposts are also magnetized, so they just go on there. Okay, so the next room, moving along. Here's just a storage room. You know, you got some crates. I put a figure in there just to kind of give you a sense of scale, so you can see that this board is pretty significant in size. This is one of the smaller rooms on there. So again, just crates and barrels, and you know, some brickwork on there. The door, so it's hard to reach here. The door here is actually magnetized. Bring it up from here. Magnetized on the back. So you got these nice fantasy style doors, you know, wooden plank doors, and they just sort of magnetize to each other on either end, but they do stay in place when you remove one. So, and I'll just back up again here. Again, keeping in mind that's the character there. So you can see that there's significant room on this board to move around and do various things. Okay, so now we come down to the very interesting room here. We get this pipework section. Again, lots of character in here, lots of piping and sort of a real industrial feel. We got these canisters here. They're all removable. That's the Monster energy drinks, you know, that kind of powered me through this project, the late nights. So again, you get a real sense of that. That's a 2-foot long sort of pipework section, so very significant in size. Just put a figure down here. Give you a sense of that, so quite large. I did this sort of elevated walkway here. Again, this can be removed if need be, and then you could just play it as a lowered walkway if you wanted. Interesting enough though, I do have some lights that go underneath here, so this actually lights up the wall, so you get this nice LED glow underneath. And I'll do a sort of a darkened shot to show you guys all the lighting effects. But again, the same piping on the walls here. A couple doors here, they remove. They're a little stiff right now just because they're pressure fit and they need some gameplay to sort of soften them up. But this is sort of a cargo bay area here. Again, some piping, some cargo, crates and things. But you got 2 doors right there, sort of isolate this little area. Again, I did some variations in the floor just to kind of give it different looks. Lots of dirt and dirt and grime and such. So. Here's a nice long hallway here, going way down the length of the board. I made these sort of, back them up, elevator shafts. So again, just some piping on the back. And these are to move around on the board, but basically what they are is they're lifts. So if you want your characters to come down from the top floor in whatever room, and there doesn't have to be a doorway, or it's a little farther from a doorway than you like, and you know, you just put them there, and then suddenly you simulate, yes, he's coming down from the top level, and here he is using the elevator shaft. Again, just some small rooms here, some, you know, all giving indication that the table is continuing off. You got multiple doors here, a little jail cell there. Again, smaller rooms here. I just put things in just to kind of give a sense of scale and sort of placement, just kind of give you show you how much room's in there. We have a working lift here. This sort of that's a doorway right there, but you can go all the way down. You guys can see the, you know, the nautical door down there, the nautical wheel, and then the other side of the fantasy door that I showed you. Into probably the most interesting room here is the conveyor room. So you get this nice scaffolding. This gantry works here, multiple levels. It's all magnetized again, so this I don't know if I can do this one hand, so there you go, that just lifts off. So if you want to remove that and not have the walkway there, you can do that as well, or you know, snap it into place. There you go, and then these can be added and removed as need be. Again, so very interesting, I think, anyways. Again, the pipework's on the wall just to give you that whole grimy look. And okay, so we got a little adjustment to make here. Oh, I think that's in the way. Let's back that up. There we go. Sorry, that lift was just under the wall, but there you go. Again, all the walls are magnetized, so just ease of lifting here. We have these sliding sort of guardrails, so you just sort of lift up and slide as need be. Just pop that down in. There you go. We got another one here that slides back and forth. Kind of get my hands in the way, but these, not that one. These ones here tip and fall onto the conveyor when not in use, just to give you a little more room. Again, give you a little more space to play here. So it's a fine balance between, you know, having things modular and static. Obviously, static gives you a little less gameplay variations, but so that basically covers most of the exterior rooms. And then we have this interior room here, very unique. Again, the same nautical crosses painted up in this gold sort of stippled technique. See a really interesting feel, you know, a throne room, or you know, the dynamic final battle scene or something can take place in there. And then we have the central laboratory. So again, I'm just going to back out here so you can see a sensor's really this sort of grimy, dark look around the exterior of the board, and then we have these two sort of, you know, cleaner rooms that sort of maybe suggest to go against the look, but certainly add a lot to the narrative. So you get this sort of internal laboratory, you know, some cryo chambers here. Put a shaft in here just to show you how you can get in this room. That door right there does back onto that library secret entrance, you know, secret laboratory, so to speak. So very, very clean in here. A lot of grays, just very subtle highlights. It's kind of hard to pick them up on the walls, but maybe the camera will pick up. So you see some slight variations in the gray here. You get this sort of central core, this power crystal or whatever you want to call it. I'm no game master, but certainly that's something that you can you know, suggest or make up as you go along. So that pretty much concludes the upper portion. So I will stop it here and then add some stills at the end. So stay tuned.